Hey everybody, welcome back to today's episode of Time to Draw with Mr. Shaw. Today we're going to be drawing one of everybody's favorite cartoon characters, Dora the Explorer. And while we're drawing Dora today, I'm going to show you some really cool overlapping tricks that you can do when you're drawing a figure. We're going to have Dora crossing her arms and crossing her legs, which might be a cool trick that you can use while drawing other characters. While we're drawing today, if you get stuck, if you need to stop and erase, maybe even flip your paper over and start over, feel free to pause the video, rewind it, watch it again. Every time you draw, you get a little bit better, so we'll keep practicing. So let's go ahead and get started with our friend Dora. Now, I want to draw her pretty big on my paper, so I'm going to draw for her head shape a nice light circle up near the top of my paper. I usually like to start drawing lightly until I get that shape exactly right. Some people like to really dig in, draw hard first, and that's totally fine. I tend to like to, start out a little bit lighter and then get darker as I move along. That way, while I'm working, if I make a mistake, it'll be a little easier for me to erase, and I definitely make a lot of mistakes. So once I have a nice circular shape blocked in there, I'm actually not going to darken that quite yet, because I do want to show Dora's hair. Now Dora has a really cute kind of bob cut, and she has some bangs going across the front of her forehead. So the first thing I'm going to do is near the top of my circle, I'm going to draw a diagonal line going from the outside of the circle a little bit over here, all the way through what would be her forehead, and then stopping a little bit off to this side. Now after I've drawn that line in, I can darken in the rest of her face down here, but I'm going to erase the top part of my circle, up here at the top. I won't actually see the curve of her head through her hair, so I'm going to take that out now. While I'm erasing, I'm going to erase just a couple of little spots in her hair here, and I'm going to draw almost like little triangular shapes, like the first part of a capital letter A, here and here, to make it look like the splits in her hair up on her bangs. Now at the ends of this line, I'm going to draw a curved line up like this and a curved line up like this. They kind of show where her bangs would be coming down in her hair. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the shape of the rest of her hair. And to do that, just above the bangs, I'm going to draw a shape that looks like a letter V. It kind of looks like an angle for those of you who are studying geometry and math. For those of you who don't know that, it just kind of looks like a letter V, just like this. Now once you have that letter V in, on this side, we're going to draw two other lines. I'm going to bring that V up a little bit, and I'm going to draw two lines. That line's going to come out in this direction first, and then it's going to curve back and touch the side of Dora's head here. Now again, that's another angle here for those of you who are studying geometry, or if you just want to consider it maybe like a letter L or like a sideways letter V, whatever helps you draw that shape, go for it. Again, that's why I start out by doing it kind of lightly first and then getting darker as I go along. And then I'm going to do a similar shape on this side. I'm pretty close to the top of my paper, so I got to get real close to the edge here. And then I have that same kind of shape mirrored on the other side. In math, we call that symmetry, when things are exactly the same on both sides. And Dora's haircut's pretty symmetrical, so I'm going to keep those shapes pretty close to each other on both sides. Now once we have that in, our job gets a little bit easier. The hair is really the trickiest part of Dora. After that, just under her bangs, I'm going to draw two curved lines. These are going to be her eyes, so I want to put them where her eyes would be. They almost look like upside down letter U's. And then at the bottom of those lines, I'm just going to draw another little curve. I like to put a little bump in that curve to make it look like Dora's cheeks are kind of pressed up. When you smile, your cheeks actually move your face up a little bit. So giving her those curved lines at the bottom of her eyes will help her face look like she's smiling a little bit more. I'm going to give her another little curved line. It looks like a sideways letter U for her nose. And then I'm going to do a small curved line, or actually it's a pretty big one compared to my other curves here, with a little bump here for her cheek. And that's her mouth. She's giving a nice little smile. You can also draw a little curved line here to make it look like her lip to separate her mouth from her chin. And then we can draw the insides of her eyes. Now, when we draw eyes, one cool thing we can do is first draw two nice big circles. But inside of those circles, People's eyes are actually made of different parts. We have the whites of the eyes, we have the colored parts of our eyes, which are called the iris, and then we have that black center called the pupil. In real life, though, people's eyes are kind of wet and shiny. So inside of this circle and this circle, I'm going to draw a small circle that I'm going to keep white. And that's going to show the spot where the light might be shining on Dora's eyes. Under that, I'm going to color in a black circle for the pupil of her eye. And if you get those in kind of the right spot, now it looks like she has those cute, shiny, very real looking eyes. They look a lot more like human eyes than you think. Now we can start drawing Dora's body. Now, I'm not going to draw her neck sticking out very far. I'm just going to draw 2 sets of curved lines at the bottom of her head. One curved line here, or just 2 curved lines, not 2 sets. And then another curved line like this. And that'll give us the impression that her neck is going into a shirt that has a collar around it. After that, we can draw in the shape of her shirt. I'm just going to draw some lines coming down from her head here and here with a curve at the bottom. And there's her shirt. And then I'm going to draw almost 2 full squares for her shorts. Now, if you want to, if it's easier, you can actually draw 2 squares. That's for that leg, and that's for this leg. And then I like to erase that line a little further down so that we only see a little bit of that separation between the legs of her shorts. So once you have this in, now we can start doing some cool overlapping tricks. I want Dora maybe to be thinking about something. Maybe she's solving a puzzle. Maybe she's asking the audience a question and waiting for us to answer. So I want her arms to actually be crossed in front of her. So the first thing we're going to draw is we're going to draw her right arm. It's over on our left side. And we're going to start with her sleeve, which is a curve at the top like this, and then almost a straight line at the bottom, like the bottom of her sleeve. Now, if you're like me and you have that line of her body going through the sleeve, you can erase the line here, and it'll make it look like her shirt sleeve is going right up onto her shoulder, right under her chin there. Then I'm going to curve her elbow around like this, and then I'm going to draw the top part of her arm coming up to a point, just like that. Now, when your arms are crossed in front of you, usually one of your hands is tucked under the other arm. So we're not actually going to see this hand of hers. What we are going to do is we're going to copy this shape, but going in this direction. We're going to have a nice curve coming out from where that hand disappears, coming all the way out like this, as if this is Dora's elbow. Then I'm going to curve a little line up like this, and then I'm going to copy that sleeve shape, a curve at the top, and then a straight line. Now it looks like Dora's other arm is coming out from around her body, tucked up under this one. I can erase the line right here. Now it looks like Dora's arms are crossed, and that's a pretty neat trick because I know I wouldn't actually see this hand because it's tucked in there, and this arm is tucked down under this one. This is a really nice trick if you don't know how to draw hands, just kind of hide them under each other. Now at the bottom of Dora here, we're going to draw her feet. Now Dora's feet, we want to cross as well. So I'm going to have this leg actually crossed in front of this one. So instead of drawing 2 parallel lines going down, I'm going to curve her knee around, and I'm going to draw 2 parallel lines coming out to the side like this. At the top of that, at the end of that, I'm going to draw a curved line, and then I'm going to draw those little bumps. Dora wears kind of flower-shaped socks, so you can just do little, almost like little ovals coming out around there. And then I'm going to draw another oval for her shoe pointed down. Now in the cartoon, Dora has 2 rectangles to kind of show where maybe her shoelaces would be, or maybe she has Velcro straps, maybe she can't tie her shoes yet. But her other leg is going to be blocked by this one that's crossed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little bit of those 2 parallel lines for her leg coming down, but then I'm going to stop where this leg is, and I'm going to continue them on the other side. Then I'm going to give it that curved line for the top of her sock and those little flower shapes. And then I'm going to draw her little oval foot coming down like this. I'm going to draw those 2 rectangles for those Velcro straps on her shoes. Now it kind of looks like Dora's hanging out. She's chilling. She's got her legs crossed, her arms crossed. She could be leaning up against a wall. Maybe she's waiting for her mom to cook dinner or dad to cook dinner. Or maybe she's, I don't know, just hanging out doing something Dora would be doing. But she is missing something pretty essential to her character. She doesn't have her backpack on. So over here on this side, under her chin, I'm just going to draw two little lines coming down kind of under her chin and tucked into her arm, under her arm here. And then I'm going to draw, I wouldn't see where her strap is up here on her shoulder, but I could draw it two curved lines coming back, almost like the bottom part of that strap. Now I won't see Dora's whole backpack, so I'm actually just going to draw a square shape coming down from her hair like this, and then another square shape just under it. And now Dora's got her backpack. She's ready to go out exploring. Maybe she wants to go to the jungle, maybe some ancient ruins. Hopefully she'll have boots with her. If you want to draw boots and maybe swiper, no swiping. If you want to draw a setting, don't forget to draw that horizon line that shows the ground and then the sky. In my picture, maybe Dora has traveled to Egypt and she's exploring some of those tombs inside of the pyramids. So I could have a couple of ancient Egyptian pyramids here in the background. Maybe the sun is shining. Maybe there are some sand dunes back here. Perhaps there's a camel, or at least the shape of a camel, off here in the distance. I'll make it a two-humped camel. And you can add whatever details, whatever setting, whatever kind of background you'd like to put in your picture. After your picture's done, snap a picture of it. Send that drawing to me on Class Dojo if you're a Henry Johnson scholar. And if you have any ideas for something I can teach you how to draw later, please post a comment below and I'll see what I can do. Thank you very much. Everyone stay safe out there, wash your hands, and I'll see you next time.